Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 1v1 on Duel between the Carbon player in the upper left. It is R3ddog in the Tomcat Striker, and his opponent, her xxHERZOGzwei, the red player in the bottom right in the Valentine Neo. And both players going very standard to begin with. You kind of have to in the 1v1 going for the corners. If you don't go standard, well, yeah, it's really hard to go anything different. And I know I kind of overly talk about this every opening game, and the standard harass goes down by both players. And R3ddog with no Blade Guardian, so that's a little bit interesting to see. I would assume he had no, it does not have it in first loadout, so interesting. That's very, very standard, especially on a striker. Maybe blasters, but no Guardians is kind of weird. Definitely not meta nowadays. But yeah, I know I talk about going for certain outposts, whether or not people go standard or have the option of going standard at first in pretty much every cast, but I really do like the concept of going of the change, the more recent change that Carbon made to maps, which is making all initial posts neutral rather than a couple of friendly starting posts. I kind of disagree with every single post on certain maps, mostly because it just makes the game really, really stale, and or not stale, but it like slow at the beginning, and you end up doing the same exact thing in the majority of the time anyway. Yeah, the fact that you have every outpost neutral at the beginning is very, very interesting for AirMech. It you know, was never at all like that before. In fact, most maps before started with every single map friendly, except for the middle outpost. So that made certain things very, very procedural. And it's kind of the same way right now, but it's a little bit different because the options are slightly more when it comes to what you can do. You know, going how you open, not necessarily what outposts you go for, but how you choose to do that, because you know, doing the PvE neutral side of the PvP game is you know, it's a skill in itself, and it's a little bit interesting to see how different players and teams decide to go for you know, clearing their outposts, whether or not they do things like go kill the goalies first on Duel, stuff like that. R3ddog grabbing the box. Oh no, sorry. Herzog grabbing the box on the right side. No one grabbing the box on the left side right now. Herzog and okay, so the big difference I guess here is Herzog's using Dillos, where R3ddog is using Longhorn for his no, sorry, Gemini for the mainline tank in their loadout. So I think in that case Gemini wins out, because Dillo has slightly less armor, slightly lower armor than Longhorn, and so actually not slightly. I think by like a relevant degree, by a relevant margin, Dillos have less armor than Longhorn and Gemini. So Gemini having the lower piercing but higher damage value, I'm pretty sure that Gemini win out over Dillo for their, you know, for their cost. Not for their upkeep though. I think Dillo still win very handily for their upkeep. And R3ddog barely getting that kill on the Dillo. Herzog was actually almost able to save it, because R3ddog transformed. I think the last hit was from a creep in that outpost, and lots of harass by the Neo player as expected, because that's what Neo meta is right now. You kind of have to just abuse a lot of things with Neo, and a lot of people don't like the word abuse, looking at you, Insane Firebat, or exploit, because realistically speaking, you're using the mechanics that are in the game, but you know, because it's such an ever-changing game, the mechanics change a lot, the stats change a lot. It's really in a constant struggle to find some sort of balance within you know, game that even the mechanics change frequently. So it's very different to think of certain things as, because the game's evolving. So you can, in my opinion, personally, think of certain things as exploiting, because a lot of stats or mechanics currently are sort of in the testing phase and rework phase. Pretty much everything in this game has been in a constant, never-ending phase of rework and testing. So yeah, we're, you know, this is not a finished game. A lot of people enter the game, and I know I'm kind of ranting right now, but nothing's really happening. But a lot of people enter the game and get to know it, and start to make, you know, suggestions for changes based on the fact that they think the game as, you know, as is is at least intended to be final or close to it, which honestly it's never stopped evolving. You know, mechanic changes like crazy, stat changes like crazy, stat changes to the degree that it's practically like a mechanics change, stuff like that, and a couple of hidden Buckies that are going to be firing at that outpost by RedDog. Buckies, are, especially for that purpose, are insanely strong, and Herzog actually losing a Dillo there to that Goliath, trying to get that Goliath killed. But actually going to throw down some Necros. Not going to put one here, which would... Oh, no. You know what? Necros don't resurrect neutrals. I completely forgot about that. And there you go. The cheese. It's not a traditional cheese, but I would call that more a... I don't know, a hidden sneak attack, post ninja, something like that. That RedDog decided to do just there. And going with the Buckies to get the neutralization, and timed it very, very well, so he could get the, you know, the outpost grab in with, you know, pretty much exactly when he needed to. And now that Herzog realizes that he is doing a backwards push, I think he did a, I don't know, I think from here they had to have been on, you know, follow move, because this outpost is not as far as this, but he's easily able to take that back, and he's not really losing too much in position, because there's no way that RedDog really planned to... Okay, no, now RedDog is using that to time his push in, and not dropping a distraction unit back here. That's kind of strange, and Herzog has not moved his units back at all. Actually, okay, these 3 units got placed here, which is why Herzog was distracted, but now he has lost his forward outpost, and RedDog did not decide to push all the way in, which is kind of crazy. Herzog has two tanks left, 2 Dillos. Might have been a Dillo and a Patcher, but they are going to get finished off pretty easily here, and now he is doing a counter push, so this is pretty crazy. RedDog now putting Heavy Mine down, but that's going to be way, way too late, and getting finished off by the Heavy Flacker Mass in XxHERZOGzwei's, I was going to say counter push, but I don't know. This is not really a counter push in the same sense that you're normally used to calling a counter push in AirMech. Yeah, now pushing directly into mid with no mech support, but the overwhelming number of Dillos might actually do the job. Now just dropping a couple of distraction creeps to draw fire, and this actually will probably go in XxHERZOGzwei's favor, especially because he has Stasis Blast, and he's going to be able to basically take the number of units on the field for RedDog and cut them in half when it comes to damage output, just by dropping that Stasis efficiently and, you know, covering all of RedDog's units. And there you go, we are at 11 to 26, 10 units on the field for RedDog as opposed to Herzog's 27. I don't think RedDog had any heavy mines in there except for the one that he dropped like over here. Yeah, so this one is the only one that he had, and lots of Necros being dropped down by Herzog. So this is going to be a lot of free units and a ton of upkeep difference now between Herzog and RedDog, which actually kind of rhyme if I say it like that. But now RedDog going to try to sword down whatever he can. 23 to 39 upkeep in favor of XxHERZOGzwei. He was dropping a bunch of patches to heal up all of those recently resurrected from Necros, via Necros, units on the field that he got himself, you know, that he finished off himself with all of his own units, and just dropping Necros like crazy. So, you know, it's kind of a strange choice that the Gangster drops over here by RedDog. Does grab the box, but it's the difference in units that he's gaining, or I guess the difference in credits in units that Herzog has right now is insane. It's ridiculous, because you got to consider these Necros cost, you know, basically what an infantry costs, but he's getting Gangsters and tanks back in, you know, in return for these Necros. So 25 to 50, Herzog could actually just push forward at this point. Great play by Herzog, but now RedDog gonna go for that. That's basically the only thing he has left to do that he can do. But I don't know, Herzog might realize that, man, I have an overwhelming advantage, but he's really hovering mid like crazy, not scouting the way he should be right now. And so RedDog is able to get a partial surround and neutralization on this bottom outpost with Gangsters, and bringing a couple creeps to take the post. Will he be able to hold it? Gangsters dropped, but only 2 creeps left in the slots, and that is going to be neutral right there. But it's relatively surrounded by RedDog, so he can go back and get some creeps or some infantry. There you go. He really needs to take his post back. That's pretty much the only hope that he has left in this game. And once again, Herzog playing a slow game, but there you go. Oh, no, he is actually going to do a pushback, did a follow move. I guarantee you he's moving it to this outpost. And he only got about half of his units, but a couple of these, oh my god, a lot of those heavy mines finally paying off for RedDog. And lots of those units getting finished off by or by those heavy mines from XxHERZOGzwei. But whoa, where is he going with this? He just did a straight up follow. So they were going back here where he was. He's not pushing in the fort. Oh my god, that is so weird. He's bringing his units back for defense, not necessarily to push in. He had plenty of units. He had a humongous advantage to actually do a push into that outpost. I guess there were a lot of gangsters there, but realistically speaking, he had a massive income advantage for a long time. So he had a lot more units, not even just that he built, but that he also necroed. As you can see, dropping the necros here, I guess anticipating a fort push, but I highly doubt XHERZOG is even remotely thinking of doing that. Right now, it's 4 outposts to 3, so actually XHERZOG has the upkeep, or has the income advantage. So right now, XHERZOG trying to get this neutralization, and he will get it, but will he be able to actually hold it? There are plenty of units over here that he can use to swarm this post, but he's choosing to drop and neutralize instead, which is I'd really disagree with that. Very strange choice of play, especially considering the advantage he has right now. But XHERZOG, it's basically giving XHERZOG a chance to hold out and keep himself in this game. XHERZOG actually got this outpost lost by Bucky's. I completely missed that. But yeah, XHERZOG, the longer XHERZOG waits to use the units that he has on the field, the better it is for XHERZOG, because now XHERZOG has the income advantage. It's actually 2 outposts to 4 right now, and XHERZOG desperately trying to get whatever foothold he can on this map, trying to push in here. Needs to get the neutralization. Priority is probably what he wants, but XHERZOG has finished off so many units over here that he might not even get that. Okay, he's 1 creep left, so he will get the neutralization, but he's lost all the units that he pushed over here. 1 Archie firing in, and creeps are now encroaching on his mid. XHERZOG is in kind of a desperate situation. The tables have turned like crazy. 47-55. XHERZOG is catching up. 28 units on the field versus 37, and XHERZOG not stopping with the pressure, but gangsters getting pushed into gangsters with no mech support. Okay, now he is back here, and oh boy, getting a lot of damage from those gangsters, and XHERZOG does realize, okay, so he's gonna Q heal, so he'll be okay, but XHERZOG can be able to take that outpost, that top right outpost, under his control, at the very least for now. And XHERZOG finally choosing to push in, but it's kind of too little too late. He can't even build units right now because he's upkeep capped. He's got his max upkeep cut off. And let's see how this does with no mech support, pushing into a perpendicular set of units. Although he has been able to get the neutralization and probably will clear the units, he probably lost a lot more than he needed to if he was here to support. And actually, XHERZOG very low on health there in the exchange. But let's see, XHERZOG has been able to clear the majority of the carbon units that were over here. But now XHERZOG has mid. XHERZOG has the advantage in this game, I would say. XHERZOG is 39 upkeep advantage to 28, so he's now going to push from post to post, I would assume. But yeah, these heavy mines have gone down again for XHERZOG. Heavy mines so crazy meta right now, mostly because of how cheap they are, in my opinion. I think they need a credit increase. I would even be okay with seeing a damage increase because, you know, you got to kind of justify the amount of credits you spend. But right now, they're so cheap, and 1 upkeep apiece. There could be a lot worked on by, you know, by somebody to balance out Heavy Mine's power. So right now, 34 to 42. So XHERZOG still has the unit advantage and gonna continue to gain it because of those necros. But XHERZOG does have the map advantage and the income advantage. So the longer XHERZOG can hold out, the better for himself. He does not really need to make any strong moves, especially now we are past level 6, the gangster level, and he's actually deciding to go for fort, people. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening right now, and that's pretty crazy because XHERZOG now does see it, but doesn't really have much defending over here, ferrying a couple more gangsters to the side, and this actually might get the finish considering how strong gangsters are. And XHERZOG now just ferrying to the corners, so he will be hitting the low armor side. I don't think he will get a finish here because of the Blade Guardians and the defending gangsters, but he will be so close that he can probably get a drop win. So yeah, XHERZOG will be able to finish off the rest of the gangsters here. The tick damage will continue for a little while, and there you go. The last gangster has been killed. A lunchbox does go down, so that's one huge thing. XHERZOG bringing a gangster. Oh no, did this break? Oh my god. Another entry for BreakMech. Another entry for BreakMech. That is insanity. I hate life. I don't know who wins this, and I really want to, and now I'm gonna have to ask somebody. That's balls. That's ball sacks. Let's just take a few minutes here to to appreciate the game that we just saw, regardless of whether or not we saw the ending. But that was a great game. Great game. I personally enjoyed my commentary on this. I liked making the observations that I did. And I feel good about it. I feel good about it, guys. I feel good. And as we continue to watch these players do nonsense, and Nasir whispering to whoever submitted this, just gotta wonder, why do bad things happen to... I'm not necessarily saying I'm a good person, but I'm not like totally evil, and I'm doing this for y'all, for everybody there. So anyway, I want everyone in the comments, whoever's deciding to watch this, to tell me who you think won and how from this point on, from the whatever 14-minute mark or however long it's been, because this is all nonsense. Thanks for suffering along with me.